Howdy, I'm Kurt Williams, and sweet baby rays, I've been to a lot of comic stores this weekend. Today we went to 14 stores in the general Metro Detroit area. I skipped one store that was on my list because I think it was mostly a Funko Pop store that happened to have some comics. And honestly, I think I did pretty good on my budget for today. Going to more than 10 stores, I managed to spend less than $10 per store on average. So let's take a look at what I got. The first place I went was Back to the Past Collectibles, and that's not actually a comic store. That's more like an auction house that deals with estate sales. They sell a lot of giant collections, mostly online. It's not a retail place that you can just pop into, but they were really nice, and they let me come and take a look around. And even though they were disqualified from the final video because they're not a retail location, maybe I'll throw in some clips of the really cool stuff they showed me, because they were very gracious and spent a lot of time showing me around. The next place I went was Primetime Comics in Lapeer, and they did not want me to film inside the store, which is okay. I'm not going to dock any points or anything for that. I understand. I didn't find anything that I wanted there. I didn't see any really great bargains. They were mostly a cards type store. Then we went to Comics Corner in Rochester Hills, one of two locations that we went to today, and they had a lot of cool stuff. Kind of a smaller store, but they did have some really good deals. I got issue 74 of Marvel Comics Presents for a pretty good price, as well as issue 76, filling a couple holes in that great Barry Windsor Smith series. Super exciting. Then we went to our first Comic City location of the trip, and even though Comic City is a lot like Vault of Midnight, they have mostly newer stuff, you know, squeaky clean nerd stuff. I did manage to find this half-off trade paperback of Spy Island by Chelsea Kane. That's a really great story. I bought all 4 issues when they came out, but I was more than happy to get it for a deal and put it on my bookshelf. Then we went to Poppin' Comics, which was formerly Morse's Comic Stash, and Travis, who owns that place, was super nice to us. He let us come in on a Monday, even though he's not open on a Monday, so we really appreciate that, Travis. Not only that, but he also saw me talking about how I'm missing issue 1 of Alpha Flight, and that's one of the only issues I'm missing. And he was super cool and just gave it to me. And I'm not saying that you should expect him to give you free stuff, but what I am saying is he's a really cool guy and you should support his business. And that's a really nice copy of Alpha Flight #1. I'm really excited about it. Then we went to a second Comics Corner in Fraser, and even though I did miss seeing the owner there because I was a little bit ahead of schedule, I did see a lot of really great stuff. Something I picked up was Volume 1 of Firepower by Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney. I've been meaning to read this for a while, and it was on a good sale, so I grabbed it. Then we went to Warp 9 Comics, which was a really great store. It had a lot of stuff crammed in there. I found some really exciting stuff. I did find a shiny version of the Metal Wolverine, the little metal guys I've been looking for this whole time. But it came in a 3-pack with 2 other larger action figures that I'm not really interested in. So all that I picked up there was Volume 2 of Firepower. Figured I might as well just focus on this today as long as I'm finding it for good deals. Then we went to Comics and More, which is a place I've been to a few times, but I didn't really find anything I was looking for there today. I've kind of cleared out all the stuff that I normally want to buy from there already. So then we went to our second Vault of Midnight location, the one in Detroit. And honestly, I found way more than I expected to find there. I got this copy of Batman Prey from 1993 for only $4. Pretty good. This copy of Secret Origins with that great Brian Bolland cover on it. This was only $2. It's from 1990. I don't know what printing number this is, but it's from 1988. It's Batman Year 1. I found this for $4 in their bargain bin. I'm really excited about it. Great story, really early printing, super cool. And the one I'm most excited about is this B cover first printing of Batman The Dark Knight Returns. I got this one for $4 as well. It's a little beat up, and I know that it's not the first printing A cover, but for $4, that's pretty great. So that was a much more exciting Vault of Midnight than I was expecting. Then we went to Green Brain Comics, which is an excellent store. They've been there for a long time, and you can tell because they've got lots and lots of good stuff in there. They gave us this cute little sticker. That's their mascot. And they had already seen one of my videos where I talk about my taste in comics, and they were saying they don't have much bargain stuff. It's mostly new stuff. And they were right. They had lots of really cool, crisp, clean stuff. I did manage to find a bargain that I really liked. I got Volume 13 of Cerebus for a pretty good price. I don't find these very often, so when I can find them for a good deal, I'm extra excited. Then we went to 9 Planets, which was very close, and they also had some really cool stuff. The deals that I found that I'm excited about are Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Crazy Cat and Ignatz. These were printed in 1988. Classic Crazy Cat and Ignatz. I love this stuff. I've got one small book of their stuff, so I figured even if it's a little bit of redundancy, they were both cheap, and I'm really happy to have them on my shelf. Next, we went to A to Z Comics, which is actually one of the first 5 comic stores I ever went to. I think I've got a lot of fond memories of going there when I was really young. I didn't spend much time digging through back issues today at all because I was in such a rush to get to all 14 locations in one day. But I did pick up this volume of Concrete. It's a very similar size to like Sin City. Concrete is widely regarded as one of the greatest comic series of all time, but I haven't read any of it yet. So I'm excited to start with this, even though it is volume 2. It's volume 2. That's pretty good. This was the only thing I bought today that was not on sale, and I felt kind of silly buying something for cover price when I'm seeing all these great bargains all the time, but I love the store. I wanted to buy something, and I've been wanting to read this for a while. Also at A to Z, the guy manning the register is a local comic artist, so I bought one of these prints of his, and I have embarrassingly forgotten his name at the moment, but I'm going to leave his Instagram in the description of the video so you can go and check him out. Super cool guy, really cool art. It's a great store overall. We also went to State of Comics in Plymouth, and they had really cool stuff, but I was in such a rush, and he spent so much time showing us all the really cool stuff he had that I didn't have any time to actually browse. I wholeheartedly recommend going to State of Comics. They have really great deals. I just didn't have time to look for them. And the last store we went to was Cosmic Comics. I also didn't buy anything from there, but they had some really good dollar bins. They had a big tote full of like Marvel comics from the early 80s that looked like the perfect thing for me, but I was just trying to sprint out of there and get to the next shop as quick as I could. And then it turned out that shop was already closed anyway. The guy manning the counter there is also a local comic artist, and I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description as well. So far, I've gone to 39 comic stores in Michigan. I know I have at least 25 on my list that I have yet to hit, and there's probably 5 or 6 more that I'm forgetting to double check for. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go to those stores. I have to, go make some money really quick after spending all this money. I got work tomorrow. But as always, on Wednesday, I'm going to make a video about the comics I bought for New Comic Day. So I will see you guys then. And if you've been following along, thanks so much. I hope you've seen some interesting stuff. I hope I've inspired you to go to local comic stores. And we're still not done. So stay tuned for day 5. Thanks.